Hello everyone, today we are going to cover a brief tutorial on how to generate a simple building section using SketchUp, layout and rendering in Photoshop. Here is the end product of a simple architectural presentation board, particularly on section drawing. Firstly, open the complete simple building model using SketchUp. Click on Camera and choose Right for the selected view. And then click on Tools in menu bar and click on the section plane. Point and press the mouse at the right view surface. Make sure the edges of the shaded frame turns blue by clicking on it. The Move button is then pressed, and now the shaded frame can be moved to identify a good section. An informative section with balcony, living area, dining area, swimming pool, ground floor area, and pergola is generated. The file is then saved in SketchUp version. For the next SketchUp file is done, open the layout software and choose the type of paper. A A3 size plain paper is selected. Now start to insert the SketchUp drawing by clicking the file in the menu bar and click Insert. Choose one SketchUp file to place inside. After inserting the file, right-click on the mouse and click the Scale button to adjust the drawing into needed scale. Then, the unneeded part of the drawing such as the borders are trimmed as to make the drawing looks neat and clean. After all, the same method will be applied on the subsequent inserted plane and section to get the same result. Please do bear in mind that both of the planes must be aligned in the same line for a nicer composition of architectural presentation board. A section is then placed using the previous method. As the particular section is used to show the dimensions of the drawing, so press on the scale icon to get the mode on. Now, clicking two edges to obtain the interval dimension. Repeat the same way for the next measurements. Next, click the pencil icon to draw the section line on the plane. The section line is completed by pressing on the Label button and label the section. The section line is then duplicated for another plane. Now, back to the section and select all the dimensions to change the unit from meter to millimeter. This progress can be done at the Dimension Style compartment in the default tray. Lastly, name all the drawings with the scale using text icon. After all, export the drawings to a JPEG file by raising the size pixels to get a better version of rendering in layout software. Next, open Photoshop software with the template poster given and drag in the previous rendering JPEG file. Trim out the drawings part by using the rectangular marquee tool. As the template layout and the trim drawings are in different layers, rearrange the position of the layers in the layer tray to make sure that both of them can be seen. Then, choose a suitable brush tool in the toolbar with a suitable colors and start rendering the background. Pale series of color are suggested. With the different colors and different size of brush applied on the rendering, it will look more vivid and interesting at the end product. The effect of background can be enhanced by using various types of adjustment keys in the image tool at the menu bar. For this background, the input level of colors is adjusted. After altering and enhancing the color modes, the file is saved for the subsequent use. We leave this aside and move on with Photoshop to render our main section. Now, here we have our plane section, which is saved from SketchUp previously. We shall begin by rendering the background of the building, which is the sky. So we click on File, Place and select on the image of the sky, which was saved from Google Images. Place over the section and then hide the layer. Now we select on the section layer, click on the Magic Wand tool and select on the part where the sky is supposed to be. Make sure you select every single part which belongs to the sky. Right now, with the correct selection area, make the sky image layer visible. Be sure to select on this layer and create vector mask by clicking the third icon at your left bottom. There, you have a background of sky at the back of your building. Next, we shall add trees. You may download tree brushes from internet beforehand. Here, we create a new layer, select your brush tool, load the tree brushes and select on tree of your choice. On this new layer, paint your tree in black to create shadow effect. You may control your brush size by holding on alternate plus right click of mouse, hold and toggle right or left. You may create second copy of tree shadow to add more layers to the tree's background later. Simply double click on the copy layer to change the blending options. Choose color overlay for a different texture of trees. Then, create multiple copies with different sizes and lower the opacity. It is important to group your layers to keep your work organized. Now, we move on to the interior wall. Place your ideal finishing over the wall space. Merge and move the layer below the building which was initially opened as a PNG file. Use the same method for all the interior walls will do. Name your layer accordingly so to avoid confusion later on. You can also adjust the gradient to give depth to the space like the ceiling. Useful technique in Photoshop to create vector mask through selection path, just like how we did to the sky. Once again, using any selection tool, select on the parts wanted at your building layer. Right-click to save the selection, Ctrl-D to deselect. Selecting on the texture layer, load the selection to mask over. The vector mask icon is at your bottom right. Next, we add glass texture to different parts of the building. Simply select the area using selection tool again and pour in light blue color using paint bucket. Like stainless steel, are continued to be added to different parts using vector mask method. Now, you see some parts that we left out for the sky. Here goes another alternative step to delete these tiny parts of the sky vector by changing the negative and positive spaces through selection and paint bucket. Next, we may adjust the levels and hues of different textures like the sky. These enhancing features can be controlled by selecting on the working area and click on the fourth icon at your bottom right. Simply experiment with the graphs and skews. Once again, using brush tool, we can add human figures into our section. Next, we have to include lighting into our section. Light from surrounding entering through openings can be done by selecting the light path and apply white hues using brushes. Adjust opacity for the better effect. Another effective way of creating natural light is by using Gaussian blur method. Again, final touch up on ground and overall effects. Copy the layout template and paste. Make some adjustment and the board is done.